As you can tell, I am not Jay Logan. President Logan had a prior event tonight, so I am filling in his shoes. So I will, please bear with me. We'll try to get through this without any issues. At this time, I'd like to Pastor Byron Fair to come lead us in the invocation. From that, we'll go straight into the pledge. Please stand.
Would you pray with me? God, we do thank you so much for today and just the blessings of life that you've given each and every one of us. God, I thank you for this time that you've given these city officials, God, and our mayor to just do your business here in Northport. God, I just pray for blessing upon Northport, that you'll continue to watch over us, protect us, God. Give them vision that comes from you and wisdom that comes from you, guidance for each and every day. God, we pray for our prayer requests that may be on our mind. Just lift those up. Strengthen each and every one of us. In Christ's name we pray these things. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Here.
President Logan, Councilman Sullivan,
Here.
Councilman Davis, Councilman High.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Item 4 is presentations. We have a proclamation for Safe Kids. The Honorable Mayor Aaron.
Janice tells everybody, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I taught her in the 7th grade.
That's right.
Many years ago.
And she had long jet black hair.
Imagine that. Whereas preventable injuries are the #1 killer of kids in the United States and throughout the world. Almost 1 million children die of an injury each year, and almost every one of these tragedies is preventable. And whereas Northport is a part of a large celebration throughout the month of April and May that includes more than 200 Safe Kids Day events in the communities across the United States provided by Safe Kids coalitions, focusing on life-altering injuries from car crashes, drownings, fires, or falls that don't have to happen. In the United States, Safe Kids Tuscaloosa joins other coalitions who work every day in their community to protect kids. And whereas Safe Kids Day has one simple but critical goal, working together as a community to raise awareness about the preventable injuries so kids can grow up to do all the great things kids were meant to do, on the road, at home, and at play. This is a day to celebrate kids and make learning more preventable injuries fun. And whereas Johnson & Johnson, Nationwide, FedEx, Chevrolet, Kitty, and Tide sponsor Safe Kids Day nationally with support from local sponsors that includes the Northport Police Department, West Alabama Wholesale, City of Northport, and Safe Kids Tuscaloosa. Now therefore, I, Donna Aaron, by the authority vested in me as Mayor of the City of Northport, Alabama, do hereby proclaim April the 22nd, 2017 to be Safe Kids Day in the City of Northport and urge everyone to take steps to protect them from preventable injuries. In witness therefore, I have heretofore set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Northport to be affixed the 17th day of April, 2017.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this.
I want to invite everybody to Saturday is our Safe Kid Day. It's a free event for the kids. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. We've got 16 people or 16 agencies coming up to give you information on safety for children. You also have a Dunkin' booth. No, but you got some city council members and let's see, Joseph. There's he. He's gonna be on it. Rodney. Couldn't get Gerald this year, but I did the first year. We got Keith Carpenter from the police department. I've got a sheriff's department. I've got a fireman. Jabari Pruitt from the TV station are all going to be there. All this raises money for Safe Kids. This is the only fundraiser we have each year. I started working for the city in 1976, and I retired in '08, but you can't tell it, because I'm still around, and I'm still gonna be here. I run the car seat program here also for the city of Northport. But please come out with kids. We teach children safety through playing games. It's all kinds of games. They'll win a prize. Even if they don't win the game, they're still gonna get a prize. So we have all kinds of stuff for them, and tell everybody about it, because we want everybody to come out, and we're gonna continue to do it with the city of Northport and the city of Tuscaloosa and the county support. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5 is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
I forgot to say where it will be here.
Yes, ma'am. The event is here at City Hall.
It'll be at the Civic Center from 10 to 1 on Saturday.
10 to 1 right here, Saturday. Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hambright, second by, Councilman Hogg, second by Councilman Hambright. Voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6 is visitors to address the council. Item A has been deleted. B, Mind Changers Incorporated, a nonprofit organization. Is anybody here from Mind Changers tonight? Nope. Okay, we will move right along. Under new business, item 8A1, this is a first reading of an ordinance rezoning 8.7 acres located on Baptist Campground Road from RS 35 to C3. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. This is the first reading for that rezoning on Baptist Campground from residential to commercial. It received favorable recommendation from our planning commission.
Thank you. I'll offer that for a first reading. Item 8B2 is a first reading annexing 1 acre located in a 300 block of Hunter Creek Lane. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. This is property adjacent to recently annexed property from a few weeks back. It's 1 acre annexing into the city of Northport. Received favorable recommendation from the planning commission.
Thank you. I'll offer that as well. Item 8A3 deals with the same piece of property, I think. This is a first reading, rezoning 1 acre from AG to RS 100, located in a 300 block of Hunter Creek Lane. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. That's correct. This is the same piece of property on Hunter Creek Lane. The initial zoning on properties annexed into the city is AG agricultural, and the request is to rezone it to RS 100, single-family residential. It received favorable recommendation from the planning commission.
Thank you. I'll offer that for a first reading as well. Moving right along, item 8B1. This is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into a franchise agreement with North Star Paramedic Services. Chief Marshal?
Yes, sir. Pro Tem Sullivan, Mayor, members of council. This is a franchise renewal with North Stars with the same terms as our previous agreement.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion for this item?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Hambright, second by Councilman Hogg. Questions or comments? Voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 8B2 is a resolution awarding bid file number 17-05 for pest control. Ms. Starnes?
Yes, sir. The city received bids for annual pest control services for all city facilities. DC Scientific was the lowest bid.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for this item?
Make that motion.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Hogg, second by Councilman Hambright. Voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8B3 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to execute the Motorola Solutions Radio Communications annual maintenance agreement out of Chief Burton's office.
Yes, this is our radio system that we purchased a couple of years ago, which works great. We pay this quarterly, but we like to present it once and just draw quarterly on that. So,
Thank you, Chief. I will make that motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Sullivan, second by Councilman Hambright, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Item 8B4 is a resolution awarding bid file 17-02 for the mobile command trailer. Chief Burton?
Yes, this is the mobile command trailer we would like to purchase. We sent out bids and we received one back. It was around a little over $89,000. But we did receive a $25,000 grant from the local EMA office here to go towards that bottom line.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And this was a budgeted item. We knew when we were preparing the budget that this item was coming up. So I certainly appreciate that, Chief. I will make a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Sullivan, second by Councilman Hogg, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8B5 is a resolution adopting the Northport Municipal Water Pollution Prevention Report. Mr. McKinney?
Yes, this is the annual report that we are required to do by 8M, which we grade our wastewater plant and our collection system. We have a favorable grade every year on this based on the age and our plant's production, and we just recommend you approve it.
Sir, thank you. Do I have a motion for approval?
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hambright, second by Councilman Hogg, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8B6 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a pollution legal liability insurance policy. This comes out of legal. Mr. Davis?
Yes, Mr. President, this simply renews the policy, allows the city administrator to sign all the relevant documents to renew this coverage.
This is just a renewal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I will second it. Motion by Councilman Hambright, second by Councilman Sullivan, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8B7 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with McGiffert and Associates for on-call assistance regarding water and sewer. Mr. McKinney?
Yes, this is, as you know, McGiffert and Associates is our engineer of record for our collection and our distribution system. This just gives us the ability, if we have a question or a need, and that we can call them up and ask them for help without having to come back to the council every time we need to do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and I certainly do appreciate their work. They've been able to help us out on several issues, so it's good to have partners like that. I do appreciate that. At this time, I will make a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Sullivan, second by Councilman Hogg, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 8C is the consent agenda. It has several items such as minutes from the April 6th meeting, bill listing, travel training, POs for sewer repairs. At this time, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Hambright, second by Councilman Hogg, voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes. Item 9 is reports of special committee. We do have one at administrative committee. I will turn to Mr. Hambright.
Okay, in the administrative committee meeting, we talked about offering dental insurance to the retirees, and I think Mr. Rose got some figures on that, because it won't be any cost to us.
Yes, the discussion's been, our retirees on our dental insurance, they've requested for some time to have access to our dental through the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and after discussing it in the administrative committee meeting, we have discussed that they would be responsible for the full portion of the premium, which would, for family coverage, would be $58 a month, and then single would be $19 a month. They would be responsible for that whole premium. So our retirees, which are about, there's about 41 or 42 people that are on our insurance right now, that they would have access to that Blue Cross Blue Shield dental insurance plan. So,
Motion in order for this. Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. We had a motion by Councilman Hambright, a second by Councilman Hogg. Voting Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Was that all you had, Councilman
Yes,
Hambright?
that's all.
Item 10 is public hearings. We do not have anybody signed up this evening. Item 11, city administrator's business. Mr. Rose?
Yes, Councilman Sullivan, as you know, the league delegates, we need to vote on a voting member to attend the business session scheduled for May the 26th during the annual League of Municipalities meeting. We have to let the league know by May the 5th on who our voting delegate, first alternate and second alternate would be if need be. And tonight would be the last council meeting that we could vote on that person before the deadline.
I'm gonna make a motion that we send our interim city administrator, Joseph Rose.
Hey, Ron, can you clarify this for us real quick? Can a non-elected official attend in the
Yes,
place?
sir. Based on what we reviewed today, yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the nomination of Mr. Rose as the voting delegate, and we also have to have a first alternate. So I'm going to nominate Councilman Hambright for that. If I may, I'll roll all of this into one motion. Is that okay, Ron?
Yes, sir, if no one objects.
Unless Mr. Hogg wants to go.
I'll be out of town, sorry.
So I will make a motion to nominate Joseph Rose as the voting delegate and Dennis Hambright as the first alternate voting delegate for the 2017 Annual Convention of the League of Municipalities. That is in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Voting Mr. Rose.
Clarification.
Yes, sir.
He went ahead and finished it for me.
He recommended you, and then I went ahead and added him since we did it all in one motion.
Okay.
So,
I just didn't wanna make a motion to send me, that's all.
So I have a motion by Councilman Sullivan and a second by Councilman Hogg to send
Yes, sir.
myself and as a voting delegate and Councilman Hambright as the first alternate.
that is correct. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 14 is mayor and council members' business. The Honorable Councilman Hambright.
Well, I guess the only thing I have this time is, I continue to get requests for the police to patrol the areas for speeders and stop sign runners, and I have to say that the chief and the whole force has been real acceptable to do that, and just because they can't be there 24/7, some people really hadn't understood that yet, but they are doing their best, and I commend you for what you're doing. That's all I have.
Thank you. District 2, Council President Logan, as I've stated, obviously he is not with us this evening. District 3, my business, appreciate you hanging in there. We're almost through with it. Could have gone a little faster. I do want to mention one thing. I received this past week a petition from Fawcett Vestavia Elementary School. It had 348 names on it. What they were asking us to look at was possibly changing or moving their voting location. I just wanted to let everybody know publicly that that's something Ron and I are going to look into. There certainly has some issues with that, making sure you have somewhere to go, but we are going to start looking at that and seeing what we could do to help out. It's been an issue for them for a while, so we're going to look into what we can do to help them out. That is all my business. Councilman Davis is absent as well. District 5, Councilman Hogg.
Don't have anything.
Last but not least, Mayor Aaron.
I don't have anything either, other than I might say that I agree with them at Fawcett Vestavia, that's where I vote. And sometimes it's really hard to get in and out.
It
A
is.
legitimate complaint.
And one of their bigger concerns was once you get in they vote in the library. Once you get in the library, there are two two exits that actually lead straight into the school. So they have to do added security measures to keep everybody safe, so.
And that keeps the children from using the library.
It does, it does. Thank you, Mayor. Item 15 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Hogg, second by Councilman Hambright. Go to Mr. Rose.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Hambright,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.